Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody. Mighty Ted. Hello. Her last day today, everybody. I shouldn't say it like that, yeah. Hi, everybody. It is welcome to the show. Thank you. Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. It is a snowy Wednesday. It's horrible. I'm grateful that the people that are here. Anytime that there's a snowstorm, even in this little bitty of a storm, I think, oh, people aren't going to come out. But we have the Mighty 10 today, and they're all getting mugs. They're all going to be getting mugs a little bit later today. Right now, keep the clapping going. It is her last day with us because Kendall's back tomorrow. Give it up for Shane Wells, everybody. Hello, Shane. How are you?
It sounds very dramatic.
It does sound very dramatic.
Her time has come to an end. It's over. Done.
I know.
I'll be back.
You'll be back. It's been fun to have you back, though. But Kendall will be back tomorrow from knee surgery. If you guys don't know, maybe you've been on vacation or you've missed the last. Because how long have you been back now? I started last Friday. Yeah, right before Halloween, because you were here for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so if you missed the show, Kendall had knee surgery. She's been out. She'll be back tomorrow, and she'll be standing right there.
I'll be here to catch her in case the knee gives out.
That's right.
So I'll still kind of be here.
We offered her a chair. She does not want to sit down tomorrow, so people are always so concerned. I mean, they were concerned about you standing over there years ago on our show, so. It's
always been a concern. My legs are just fine. It's really like 15, 20 minutes at the most.
Exactly.
I can handle it.
So just to make a note for tomorrow, Kendall has requested to stand up. So I think it's probably helping her a little bit as far as knee surgery.
Yeah, I think she said she'd prefer to stand. It's more pain when she's sitting.
Sits down, yeah. So we'll be doing the entire show standing
up
tomorrow. Yeah. So I was talking about the audience being here. You do traffic as well, just like Kendall, when you're not now, you're out doing feature reporting. But what is it about the first snowfall of the year that makes all of us forget how to drive? You know what I mean?
So I always say 1 inch is worse than 6 inches.
Yep.
Because people are overconfident and everybody goes to work. Whereas when we get like 6 inches plus, people stay home from work. Offices say don't come in, less people on the roads. And you're ready for it. When you see that snow piled up, you're like, we got this. When there's just a little dusting, you're like,
I can go 50. I can go. No, it's bad. So use caution. If you have some place to go, I've been saying it all morning on the radio show. Give yourself some extra time. There's no rush. If you're late, you're late. It's not going to kill you. I mean, you know what I mean? Just take your time, everybody. And give space to buses. I got my friend Colleen from My Talk said she was watching people just really ride right on the butt of buses, like Metro Transit buses. They have to make those wide turns, and if they slide, so give semis and trucks, give everybody just a little bit of room today as we get ready. It just seems so early, though,
it's gonna be a dealing long with season, this. So yeah.
I know. Like last year, we didn't have snow until like December. And this time it seems like it started, well, it did in October, so. I don't know. I'm trying to look on the bright side. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that today, but yeah.
Like it, yeah.
Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. Spoons a little book. Still dealing with that cough, too. I had a woman email me that I should do pure pineapple juice. Have you ever heard that for a remedy for a cough?
Do you have to go squeeze it yourself?
No, but she said pure pineapple juice helps. I've gotten so many,
because
I have a cough again, and people, they said, oh, it could be asthma, it could be this, but no matter what cough medicine I use, nothing has worked. Nothing has worked. So I got 5 emails from women telling me that I should try pure pineapple juice.
Do it.
I'm going to do it today, and I'll let you know. Let's get started. ABC tried something new last night, a somewhat live performance of their classic, The Little Mermaid. Here's the deal. All the songs were performed live, and then they would go back to the animated movie, filling in the gaps. The A-lister everyone wanted to see, I literally watched her and then went to bed, was Ursula, played by Queen Latifah. Look at this.
Your poor unfortunate soul, so sad, but true. If you want to cross the bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp, take a breath, and go ahead and sign the scroll. Flotsam jetsam, now I got a voice. The boss is on a roll. You poor
Carvalho, who played Moana, was Ariel. Shaggy was Sebastian. John Stamos was the Chef Louis. It also featured Amber Riley from Glee and Graham Phillips, Alicia Florrick's son, from The Good Wife. I watched the whole thing. Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
Okay.
Actually.
Let's start with the positive. What did your children say?
Okay, that is my positive.
Okay.
It's Karis, who just turned 6. She was totally engrossed in it and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know any better.
Yes.
Now, me watching...
Thank you, audience. Thank you.
A little different situation.
Yes.
What
you
did
knew better.
Because I'm like, I'd rather just watch the animated show the way I guess I expected it to be a full-on live production. I did not realize they were going to play mostly the movie and just cut in once in a while.
See, this is what Alexis said on the radio show. And I said, I think the marketing messed up here.
Yeah.
Alexis and you and probably some people, they went into it thinking it was going to be like the Broadway musical, and it was not. It was a hybrid. As I explained, they would show the animated movie and then transition to a soundstage where all the musical acts were performed. My take, I thought it was a mess. I thought it was a little messy and a lot of sound design problems. I hate to say this, but I think she was one of the kind of, not one of the high points for me. I love her as Moana. She has a beautiful voice, but I think her nervousness got to her. Now, having said that, how can you not be nervous? Especially, and this is part of the problem, they had her on wires. She had to land on a rock. She's wearing a weird wig. I mean, talking to a puppet fish. There's a lot of things, and that's. I can't really even blame her for being a little nervous and not hitting all the notes, because part of my problem calling it a mess, part of the reason I'm calling it a mess is they needed to simplify it a little bit more than they did. There was too much going on, and you really, during Under the Sea, you couldn't really hear Shaggy singing. And speaking of Shaggy, where did the wardrobe budget go? Because at the beginning of the movie, at the beginning of the thing, Amber Riley and all the mermaids had these beautiful mermaid dresses. And then you get to Shaggy, and he's not even dressed as a crab. He looks like Eddie Murphy in Raw. You know what I mean? With the leather out. Thank you, audience. Audience has no idea.
Jacket. Yeah, that was really, he didn't even have crab hands.
No, he was in red leather. I mean, that was it. And I thought
it was odd.
And then Under the Sea had these people in Stingray Snuggies. And I thought, it's Disney. Don't y'all have a bigger budget? But again, the biggest, thank you, Eric, for that giggle on that one. Yeah. I'm trying today, friends. I'm trying today. But But Ursula was the best. Queen Latifah knocked it out of the park. She was great.
I liked your dude, too. The guy you keep talking about. The Good Wife
guy.
It's
Prince Eric. It was funny. I looked on Twitter, and women were like, who is he? They're just discovering him. I'm like, we watched him grow up as Alicia's son on The Good Wife.
How old is he?
Mid-20s,
Curiosity?
I think. Yeah, mid-20s, and he's done creepy. Broadway. The dude's done Broadway, so he's a singer. Next on the dish, more Mickey Mouse news. ABC says they're bringing back their wildly popular special, I love this, called Live in Front of a Studio Audience. Now, if you remember, the original production aired back in May, here it is, and featured live episodes of classics All in the Family and The Jeffersons. The new production will do All in the Family again, but they're going to do a different Norman Lear show for the second one, Good Times. Jimmy Kimmel and Norman Lear are teaming up again to produce the event. The production in May earned an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special and was watched by 22 million people, which is a lot nowadays. This new special will air December 18th. Did you see this?
I'm confused. So they air old episodes with a studio audience?
Okay, no. So what they do is, good question for people that didn't see it. They take the original script. Oh. They have a script for All in the Family, and they have a script for an episode of The Jeffersons. Then they perform it live in front of a studio audience with new actors playing Edith and Archie, George and Wheezy, modern actors, because obviously Carol O'Connell and Gene Stapleton's not around anymore. So
I don't know those shows.
I get it. So yeah, you represent a lot of, but it was Shane. It was so good. And what you realized then, and you'll probably realize it with whatever episodes they pick for December, Norman Lear's comedy is so classic, and it's oddly and sometimes sadly topical to this day. You're dealing with, they dealt with racism and homophobia and war and having families with one a conservative and one a liberal. In Archie, in All in the Family, Archie was the conservative, and then you had Meathead, who was a liberal. You had Mike. So, and look, we're dealing with these same issues right now. I'm curious, though, why they're doing All in the Family again. You know what I mean? Unless they're going to do a different cast. Because Norman Lear has a ton of shows they could pick from. You know, it
went so well, though. Are they just trying to piggyback on that?
Yeah, maybe get
big success.
Bring one that was carry one over. But if they do it, but they're obviously going to do it again. I hope they get a new cast. If they're going to, now that they're going to do it again, I want to see a new person play Archie. I want to see a new person play Edith. Even though Marissa Tomei as Edith Bunker was amazing, because that's an iconic. You should watch it. I actually think you would like it. You can see it on abc.com. They still you can watch the old one. We have lots more to come, everybody. Go grab another mug of whatever and meet me back here in just a few minutes. Back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, producer Ted is cheating on Hallmark Channel this week as he tries a Netflix holiday movie. So, how is Holiday in the Wild with Rob Lowe? Ted will tell you. Then watch your back, Rachel Ray. A local kid is becoming a mover and shaker in the food biz. She'll join us live to talk about a big event happening this weekend at the Mall of America. And looking for a new way to use those seasonal apples? Kindle's taking us on a trip to Honey and Rye Bakehouse for some red delicious ideas. Stay right there. We will be right back.
Very good at working, at figuring out how can I take this situation and use it to drive people towards the world of Bert Kreischer, my tour, what I'm doing. You have had some missteps in your self-promotion.
Hardcore. I perform shirtless, obviously, if you don't know. And one of the things I've been my dream was to make a shirt of me shirtless and then put, the tour, Body Shots World Tour on the front, sell the shirt. I can see you nodding right now. It's a home run, right? You want one.
Yeah.
Until you actually see what they did, it looks like you got plastic surgery in South America. The nipples are under the arms. Like he was like, oh, just put the nipples anywhere, bro. And then you're like, yeah, look at the nipples. And the belly button's down here.
No, this is exactly where my nipples are.
That's right. Welcome back, everybody. Comedian Bert Kreischer on Conan last night. I don't even need to make another comment about that. That speaks right for itself. I need to get one of those shirts. Yeah. I'm kidding, audience. I'm kidding. No, nobody. I want people to watch the show, not watch the show. More hot dish for you this morning. Emma Watson is not married and is not dating anyone, but don't call her single. The 29-year-old actress told British Vogue that she is self-partnered. Oh. Self-partnered. Well, you can tell Shane's reaction already. She says that she's never believed it when people say they're happy being single. So she coined her own phrase. She has had love interests, like a rugby player, a tech entrepreneur, but neither of those guys were the one. Emma is getting ready to star in an upcoming movie, another version, the 80th version of Little Women. This is kind of like Gwyneth Paltrow's unconscious uncoupling or whatever.
It makes you roll your eyes a little, but I do get that sometimes saying you're single, people feel like it's a dirty word. They have to say why they're single. They're like, well, I'm single, and then kind of it's, make it sad. It isn't. We were talking about it in the meeting, and we talked about it on the radio show as well. I have to give it to the younger generation. I have to give it to your generation. Mine was still what I mean by that is, I think it was the New York Times or the Washington Post had an article. They're not buying houses like we used to, because back in the 70s and 80s, the societal expectations were you were going to graduate from high school, college, marry someone, and get a house all in your 20s. And now millennials are like, no, we're not going to do that. They're waiting. If they get married at all, they're getting married in their 30s. And then there was another report, another story, I think last week, that says they're not buying houses like they used to. I think it was like millennials say yes to renting, I think, the article. And a lot of it is they just don't have the money. I mean, the economy is different than it was when we were growing up. Yeah, I think you want to be in a really good financial place before you do these things, where it used to kind of be like that comes along the way. Yeah, and we just didn't care in the 80s. You know what I mean? We just did it because that's what the people told us to do. But I love it. It is the titling, though, you're right. I like her concept. Yeah.
It is the titling of self-partnering, because who's going to say that? This audience isn't going to say that. You know what I mean? My friends, my Mighty Eight, no, they're not going to say it. That lady right there is not going to say that. No. Next in the dish. That's my girl right there. Next in the dish, get ready for a lot of Dolly Parton. I told you about Dolly in my podcast, thanks to Eric and Jeff a couple days ago. Netflix is turning 8 of Dolly's songs into an anthology series called Dolly Parton's Heartstrings. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
Jolene, would you get your pretty little butt up here and help me sing? Jolene, Jolene, Jolene.
Here is a beauty. Those eyes, big enough to turn a man to salt.
Please don't take my man.
I think it's about time I took you out. I know the perfect place.
Jolene, Jolene.
I think the lesson is you really have to live. Find what makes you happy.
I stand here in the presence of a love I don't deserve, praying for the courage to be worthy of that gift.
Well, to new beginnings.
Yeah, Dolly will serve as the singer and songwriter for the series, and it drops on Netflix on November 22nd. I was telling you, I named it a best thing ever, the Dolly podcast, Dolly Parton's America. And if you listen to it, you realize all of her songs, especially in the early years, had real stories behind it. She talks a lot about, in the 60s and 70s, women in peril, whether peril by their boyfriends or husbands. And some of them are really, really dark. I mean, they go back into dark chapters of history of Tennessee. Women that were literally, don't mean to get all, it's the Jason show, but I mean, literally women that were killed and like dumped in a river. And Dolly is singing, and Dolly sings about the, now let's hope that isn't featured in the Netflix special, but I'm just saying.
I didn't see that one,
but yeah. But so when I was listening to the podcast, I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna go back and listen to the early albums of Dolly, knowing that she pulled so many of these lyrics, not necessarily from her own stories, but from stories that she heard in the Tennessee mountains, in the hills.
Is she more popular than ever right now? I mean, honestly, she is everywhere.
You're setting me up perfect, Shane.
You're welcome.
No, that podcast, that was, wouldn't you say, Jeff, that's kind of the catalyst for the whole podcast, is examining why Dolly, you're absolutely right, she's more popular than ever, and her fan base, if you missed the episode where I talked about this, the thing that made you go, really? Her fan base has never been younger. And they credit that with her appearances on Hannah Montana and other things.
And Dumplin'.
And they said her celebrity, how do I say this? Every celebrity has a Q score. You know how popular you are? Most celebrities are polarizing. Like if you're liked with one group of people, you're not liked with another. Dolly is one of the few celebrities that has a Q rating that's high with most human beings. No matter your political leanings, your socioeconomic backgrounds, she is universally loved. And nowadays, you don't find that. There are no celebrities like that, except for Dolly. Yeah.
And Tom Hanks. Dolly and Tom Hanks.
Dolly and Tom Hanks, yeah, probably, yeah. I'm sure he has an enemy or two, but yeah. Next up, from Honeycrisp to Sweet Tango to Granny Smith. We all have our favorite apples. And with apple season still going strong, odds are you have plenty of them in your refrigerator right now. Besides eating them, it is really easy to transform apples into baked deliciousness. Kendall visits Honey and Rye Bakehouse in St. Louis Park to whip up a treat. Look at this.
I really love apples this time of year, for real. I love them so much, and so I'm always looking for new things to make them with. I also happen to come here a lot, Honey and Rye, so who better to talk to than Anne? She's owner / I call you a bakerina, which is a mix of baker and ballerina. Don't know why, but we're gonna go with it.
I have a little of both.
Thank you. Okay, got apples, we've got stuff for making scones.
Yes. Yep, an apple cheddar scone. So this is going to be more of a savory version than what you might expect in an apple scone.
It happens to me a lot. You get some of the apples in the bag that just aren't fantastic.
Yeah.
You can use these?
For sure. So they have some dings and...
Dings and dongs, as I called it earlier.
Yes, you're always going to have those, and we get super excited about them because we feel with baking, you're not going to notice that in the end product.
First things first. Our ingredients
are all-purpose flour, and we're going to add in the rest of our dry ingredients. So sugar, semolina, baking powder, and salt.
My favorite part, I literally just put things in a bowl.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Look at me, Mom. I'm making scones.
And we will grab a whisk to get that. Or you can use your hand. It's
Just
fine.
do it with my hand?
You could, because we're going to cut the butter in also with our hands.
Okay.
You could definitely use a mixer, but I feel like the by hand texture is going to help.
It's fun?
Yeah, it's fun. It feels good. The butter we want to for sure make sure is nice and cold, so you can plop that whole thing in. And you're kind of like squishing it like that.
Okay.
But you definitely don't want to overwork it or warm it up as best you can. They say around pea size. I like a little bit bigger than that.
Pea size, people. Pea size.
Large peas.
Large peas, as opposed to small peas.
Not the tiny peas. Okay, so then we're gonna do our liquids in, so you can do 1 egg in there. Before we add that, we're gonna get our apple prepped.
Is this where this thing comes in?
This comes in, the apple peeler and core.
It's
and then
like
shove
a
it on.
project.
And then you're just gonna crank it, and I'll kind of help hold it.
Literally? This is what I do?
Yep.
Oh, stop it.
You can.
Come on, little guy. The coolest thing I've ever seen, and I don't know why it is so oddly satisfying. I feel like Liberace does when he gets a new diamond ring. Have people seen this before?
Is this a thing? I know.
This girl is easily
And then we'll
amused.
just chop it up a little bit. Oh. Still good. Still good. Look at her. Chop it up, just little cubes.
I am so easily amused and entertained. Children these days should get apple peelers. Don't need any apps. Just apples. Get it? Like apple and...
Okay.
Like, how much cheese is this? Like a cube of cheese?
Yeah, it's like a little hunk of cheese. Then we're ready for the liquids.
Are you fixing my...
No, I was just putting a little hole in there.
It's like to not mix it well enough?
No.
Okay.
You're not really trying to stir it as much as just like kind of incorporate it.
Oh my gosh, this is, again, disgustingly satisfying. It's not like cookie dough. You don't want to just eat this.
We've got our scone dough. We're just gonna plop it out, quarter it, and then quarter it again into eighths. And if you need and want to reshape them a little bit, you can. But they look great.
That's pretty easy. Yeah.
They look great. We got them, and then we'll just do a little cream wash on them, and in the oven they go.
And how hot is the oven?
Around 350 we do. Yep, 350 for about 20-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more depending on the oven. 20 to 30 it could be.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Just for you, Eric.
Dun to the dun. Here they are. Get to it.
You ready? Don't worry, guys. I'll try it.
Hot still. Okay.
You could probably make these at home. Apples, people. I'm out.
Yes, you are. There she is. Well, if you missed any part of that story you want to share it with your friends, we'll be posting a little bit later on Facebook and on our YouTube page. All you have to do on both is just search for Jason Show TV. We're talking about most orchards, if you didn't know that, you can go there and buy like damaged, not perfect apples. And you can save yourself a lot of money that way. So, still ahead, everybody. We're speaking of food. We're chatting with a young chef who has quite the impressive resume. It's going to make you ask yourself, what were you doing at her age? Including being a contestant on Masterchef Junior. And then, producer Ted reviews his latest Christmas movie. We'll tell you what he thinks of holidays in the wild. I'm going to sit here with the Mighty Eight. We'll be right back, everybody. Back after this. They braved the snow. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. Well, on the show, you know, we talk about the Twin Cities food scene all the time. We have a lot. We're so lucky. We have a lot of great chefs and bakers that come on the show from our community, and sometimes they're really young. That's cool. Like today, give it up for former MasterChef Junior contestant Ariana Feygin, everybody. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, you're never supposed to ask a lady how old they are, but I'm going to ask you, how old are you?
I'm 15.
Audience, what were we accomplishing at 15? I mean, sincerely, because I want to talk to you about individually these things, but I'm going to list off. Listen to this if you want to feel like, oh crap, what were you doing at 15? This young lady right here was on MasterChef Junior, trained at Michelin-starred restaurants, worked with our friend Gavin Kaysen. She developed a kids menu for Radisson Blu. She has a new line of aprons and has raised almost $500,000 for charity. Right here. That's fantastic. I love it. I don't care how old you are. I love people that follow their dream because that's what we try to inspire people to do here. Have you always wanted to do? Have you always been interested in being a chef?
Well, I've been cooking since I was 4, and I think there was always something that
drew me. A long time
to
ago, yes.
I think there was always something that drew me to it. I think the ability to be so creative and expressive. And for me, I've just always been really passionate about it and viewed it as an art form.
Was your family into cooking, or did you? Because like I learned how to bake from my grandpa. So like, did you have a relative that kind of inspired you?
No, actually, my parents don't really cook very much, and so they joke that the reason I started cooking was because otherwise I'd be hungry.
Oh, well, I mean, a girl's got to eat, I got to tell you. So, well, I mentioned some of these things, and we're going to talk about your, well, let's start with the event. The Kids in the Kitchen event on Saturday. What is that?
So it's basically an event where we're going to be demoing some dishes, and we're having some guest chefs there at the Mall of America in the Rotunda demoing some of their favorite cooking dishes, and also to inspire other kids.
I love it. And then you were, as I said in the intro, it's our network. You were on Masterchef Junior. We're looking at a clip here. What was I always like to know about everybody's first day on set. How nervous were you?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Going on to Masterchef, I had been watching Gordon Ramsay, who's the head judge, ever since I was really young. And it's crazy to watch it back and see how nervous I was because all I wanted to do was to impress them, and it was so stressful, and there were so many cameras, and I think as the show went on, I kind of got used to it, but it was definitely a shock in the start.
Was he what you thought he would be? Did he surprise you? Like his personality, was he what you expected him to be?
I mean, I think that's probably the most frequently asked question I've gotten since competing on the show was, how was Gordon Ramsay? But I think that he's very passionate and he's very serious with the kids, but also I think he's nicer and he just wants to really push them hard to be the best they can be.
Did he scare you at any point? Or, let me rephrase it. Did he get a little like? Were you a little intimidated?
He had a very intense stare, and he just looked down at you, and it would be very intimidating.
It's like when your parents look at you and they look right through you. So, okay, what are we gonna make today?
So I'm demoing this dish at the Mall of America actually on Saturday, but this is a herb-infused chicken breast, and we're pairing it with a sweet corn and red bell pepper succotash.
What is it? Okay, I've eaten it. What is a succotash, really?
So it's kind of like a combination of corn and bell peppers and tomatoes, and you saute it in a pan with some special spices, and it pairs really well with the chicken.
The chicken by itself smells good. So, okay, what can we do here? How do we start?
So the first step is to add oil to the hot pan.
We were laughing because the pan, like traffic today, is taking its sweet time.
That's very
right.
True.
Yeah.
So then I think it's hot enough, so we can add our onions and saute them. Oh yeah!
We did it!
It's hot!
We did it! So we talked long enough that the stove got hot.
Perfect. And then we're gonna add our bell peppers.
Okay.
And we're gonna saute this all together. And then this is a little bit of jalapeno as well.
Okay.
So a little bit of heat. And
already smells so good.
Using the wooden spoon, we're kind of gonna stir this around and help it get really caramelized.
Okay.
And so we're gonna stir this.
Here, I'll stir this. You tell everyone about. I mentioned your aprons, and tell everyone about your aprons.
Yeah. So for me, I think coming back from MasterChef, I really wanted to leverage my passion for cooking as a platform to help others, and so I started my own private dinner series.
How much do you love her? I mean, seriously. Okay. So you started what? I'm sorry.
So I started my own private dining series, and I've been donating that to the live auctions of charity events, and that's how I've been able to raise almost $500,000 for charitable causes, but I really wanted to continue the philanthropy work, so I partnered with Craft-Made Aprons to design my own apron line, and we're partnering with Pinky Swear Foundation as well, so 1/3 of the profits from the aprons are going to be donated to the Pinky Swear Foundation.
I am so proud of you. You're like a wonder person, I swear. This is great. Those are good. And for people who do not know, those are like the best aprons in the restaurant, aren't they? They're the best aprons in the restaurant business.
Yeah,
so.
I feel very lucky to have partnered with Craft-Made. They make aprons for a lot of chefs in the Twin Cities and outside of the Twin Cities. And so it's super cool that I'm able to create an apron line with them that's also fits kids as well. And so it's got a very adjustable strap situation.
Did I do okay on this?
That looks absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So we're gonna add the corn now.
Okay.
And we're gonna saute this in the oil and then some seasoning. So we're gonna salt.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add some cumin.
Okay.
So this is a really smoky spice that'll add a lot of flavor and really complement the chicken. And then this is chili powder.
Oh.
So a little bit more heat.
This
but also
does have a little kick to it.
And then we're gonna add a little squeeze of lemon for some acidity.
Okay. This smells so good.
Thank
and
you.
healthy. I'm thinking about this. This is a healthy dish. Oh, as you get ready to add butter. I love it. I was literally getting ready to say, this is really healthy.
Well, the butter is optional.
No, add the butter. We're fine.
We'll do one.
Okay.
How about that?
That sounds great. Little moderation there. Oh, that's good. Okay.
And then these are some tomatoes, and we add them towards the end of the cooking process.
Because you don't want them to get overly mushy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all about the texture in this dish.
Am I doing okay with your dish?
It's incredible, yes.
Okay, thank you. I can host a show and stir. It's fantastic. And again, tell everyone, and guys, don't worry, you know us, we'll put this whole thing on Facebook. The event is this weekend, right?
Yes.
So at the Mall of America, we'll put the information on the thing.
Yes, and I'll be posting about it on my Instagram as well, at Ariana Fagan.
Of course you have an Instagram. God, I love you so much. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, are we pretty good with this?
I think that looks great. So this is an herb infused chicken. What I did was I have some butter in the pan, and then I add herbs, and I baste it over the chicken so the herbs infuse into the chicken. This is a technique that Gordon Ramsay actually wanted all the kids on MasterChef to learn, and it was really important for him to teach us.
And it's a real easy thing that you can do with a lot of different meats. I mean,
so right. Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference in the flavor profile.
Yeah, so we're going to
flavor profile. Who am I? What am I trying to do?
And then a little bit of parsley to finish it off.
And there we go. There we go. The Kids in the Kitchen event is happening Saturday at the Mall of America Rotunda, starting at 1. For details, head to mallofamerica.com and follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram account?
At Ariana Feygin, and my website is arianafeygin.com.
Of course it is. Still ahead, everybody. I checked something off my bucket list recently. We'll show you what I mean when we come back. Back after this, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Do you want to own a restaurant eventually? Or you want to just... Welcome back, everybody. Shane is back here on the couch. Okay, how great was she?
For her dad, just to be like, your daughter?
Yeah.
Incredible.
You done did good. She was raised well, as my mom used to say, yeah. Well, you guys know one of my biggest pet peeves in life is rudeness at the movie theater. I've been going off about people talking in movies, people using their phone in movies for years on this show and on the radio show. Well, recently, I had the chance to be a part of the pre-movie trailer for Imagine Theaters. They heard about my rants and asked me if I wanted to be the face of shut up, basically, is what it is. I get to tell the people to turn their cell phones off. I'm coming to a big screen near you, and we got a clip of what you'll see on the big screen. Look at this. Could you please put your phone away? The trailers are getting ready to start, and I really don't want to miss it. / you're ruining my movie-going experience. Okay, thanks. Yeah, and by the way, no talking or texting or posting on Instagram or Twitter or all 4 of you that still use MySpace, okay? Great. And enjoy the movie. Oh, yeah, so the trailer... That trailer will be played before every single movie at all the Imagine Theaters in our area starting on Friday, and it'll probably run through the middle of next year. So
that is so good and so much better than just the voice that says, "Shh, please silence your phone."
Yeah.
Like that nice voice.
No, they reached out. They talked to producer Ted, and this is how much I wanted to do it. Like, I didn't get paid, nothing. Like, I just said, I will do it. You don't have to give me a goober or a raisinette. I will be there.
Okay,
so, yeah.
So when you're at a movie and it airs,
I know what you're going to ask.
Are you going to stand up and be like,
no. Oh, my goodness, no. That would be mortifying. No.
Are you going to hide in your hood?
I will tell you, I'm going to go on the first day that it goes.
Yes.
I am going to go to a movie just to see it. Because that's cool. I mean, I have a TV show, but
the big
that's awesome. And I love it. It's a smaller company. Not small, but smaller. And I met the owner. It's a good company. They believe in people enjoying the movie. And that's why I was like, sign me up, I'll do it. Still ahead, everybody, a new divorcee heads to Africa. Nurses and orphaned... nurses an orphaned elephant back to health, but does she find love? Producer Ted reviews the latest holiday movie, Holiday in the Wild, when we return. Back in a moment, everybody. I can't believe I just read that. Yeah.
Oh, you coming on this too?
Yep. Derek Hollinsworth, in case you want to write my name down on a complaint form.
Oh, you're the pilot.
We're flying over the largest game reserve in Africa. Hang on, gotta make a stop.
What? A stop? Where?
Stay in the plane. He'll come back. Poachers killed the mama for tusks. We don't do something to help that baby, he'll be dead in 2 days.
I want to help.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, she wants to help. That's a clip from the Netflix Christmas movie, Holiday in the Wild. It dropped on Netflix over the weekend and stars Rob Lowe and Sex and the City's Kristen Davis. And to show there's more to him than just Hallmark movies, that means it's time for Producer Ted Reviews Christmas Movies. Everybody, that's right. Our favorite time of the year, and producer Ted Johnson joins us now from the Jason Show control room. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning.
Did you feel like you were cheating on Hallmark just a little by watching a Netflix movie?
Yeah, a little bit, because it doesn't follow the same scripting. So it was, oh, this is happening. Oh,
yeah.
Where's the gazebo?
I was gonna say, because Hallmark has the beats are very similar.
Yep.
Okay, so give me the beats of this. I can kind of guess the main plot, but flush it out a little bit for us.
So Kristen Davis, who everyone remembers from Couples Retreat.
Yes.
She's married, and her child is just ready to go to college. And as he leaves to go to college, just to shut the door, they didn't drop him off or anything, leaves to go to college, she books a second honeymoon for the husband to Africa. But as he leaves, husband says, we're getting a divorce. So he leaves. She then goes to Africa, where she stumbles upon Rob Lowe, who is a pilot, who just happens to pilot around Africa. And
okay.
They make this dramatic landing, as you saw there, where they nurse a orphaned elephant back to health, and she at first doesn't like Rob Lowe at all, and then they, have this budding romance. She extends her stay into the holiday season, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but there were sparks.
There were sparks on the Serengeti, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now I asked this question in our meeting, and I'm going to ask it for the viewers. Did they spare any expense? Meaning, did they really shoot this in Africa? Or was it on a back lot in Burbank, California?
Wide shots of the savannah. This thing was shot in Africa.
Really?
Absolutely. And that's how you can kind of tell the difference between a Netflix movie and the Hallmark movie, because the Hallmark movie is basically, let's go to Vancouver again. Let's go to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Again. This is Africa.
Okay, how was the acting? Let's talk, because Hallmark, bless their hearts, it's some good, some bad.
It was disappointing.
Really?
I was disappointed. Okay. By Rob Lowe, by Kristen Davis, by everyone.
How was the chemistry? Did they have any chemistry together?
Not really.
Okay, that's a no on that one. Okay. Now we have benchmarks for Hallmark movies. The Gazebo, Big Town Girl returns to her small town to find love. What kind of benchmarks are we moving benchmarks for the Netflix movies?
We have to amend the checklist.
Yes.
So, was there a kiss in the gazebo? No. There was a kiss in a tent out in the safari area.
Okay, I think that's transcribable. I think we can move that over, okay?
Lacey Shea Bear, no.
Okay.
But the Lacey Shea Bear of A-list actors, Rob Lowe, maybe?
Okay, I'll accept that.
Is Rob Lowe available? Sure, let's put him in.
Let's put him in there. He's not doing anything else.
Big City Girl, goes to Africa. No.
No.
But points for the originality.
I was going to say, hey, Hallmark has never taken us to Africa. You know what I mean? Okay, we grade all of these movies in crowns, 4 being the biggest, the best. What are we giving Holiday in the Wild?
So last week was a 1.5 crowns for whatever that movie was that we saw.
You've already forgotten that one.
This one was actually worse. This one was actually worse than that movie. But because of the originality, Leo, we've got the crowns here.
Okay.
Because of originality, I give him 2 crowns.
2 crowns, Ted!
You get 1 crown right off the bat for going to Africa.
Yeah, you do. I mean, when they have a budget that big, you got to give them some credit there.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, though, you will not be rewatching this with your family this holiday season.
No, I won't. And Hallmark Channel, I apologize. I will not make that mistake again.
Perfect. Ted's coming home, everybody. Thank you so much. You can see Holiday in the Wild right now on Netflix. It's available now, right? Yeah, it dropped. You can see it right now. We're going to take a break, everybody. If you missed the review, don't worry. We're going to post on Facebook a little bit later. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Shane's back. Oh, are you going to watch Holiday in the Wild?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
No, but that was really fun to hear his review. Thank you, Ted, for taking one for the team.
Yeah, he genuinely loves those movies. I love rom-coms, but if they're on in the background, they're fine.
Right.
Like if I decorate, I
Wrapping
like to have
presents.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's great. But speaking of that, Alexis, my co-host from the radio show, is thinking about putting Christmas decorations up already.
Oh, I know some people that have done that.
Have already? Oh, thank you, audience. Yeah, some people. Yeah, I think
People
maybe
can't wait.
the end of next week, I'll put them out.
It did snow.
I mean,
The
there is
setting
that.
proper.
Yeah. Speaking of the snow, we do appreciate our mighty 8 that came today to be in the audience. I know the weather's going to turn, but if you want to come see us, we do have tickets available. And hey, just like this audience today, you could get a mug if you want to come see us. If you want to come see us, just go to our Facebook page, click that ticket tab right there. Let us know when you want to come. It's easy pleasy. You're in by 9:15 and you're out by 11:15. And if you're a boss and you want to do a company outing, we accept groups as well. We have a really good time. We're going to take a break and we'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
We just need to install a bar.
A little bar? Oh, like a wet bar. Yeah.
You know, you can.
Wrapping things up on this Wednesday, right? I keep forgetting what day it was. We were talking earlier about the Imagine Theaters trailer that I did, telling people to turn off their phones. What I thought you were going to ask me, and I think you've asked me this before, is if I'm in a movie and people are talking, will I confront them?
Oh, you do.
And I do, yeah. I thought you knew that. Would you?
I think I have said something to someone before who was like kitty corner and kept lighting up their screen.
Yeah.
But what bugs me the most, though, is the kicking of the seat.
Oh,
Do you ever
really?
Get that? Yeah, I always get people who are tapping and then it just like.
See, the one that I get the most, and I hear people talk about it, is the screen. The people illuminate their screen. I had somebody do it. I think people thought I was joking when I was at the Guthrie on Sunday for Steel Magnolias. You're at a theater production.
And paid a lot of money to be there.
And those tickets are not cheap.
Yeah.
And there's a guy across from me, row O, there's a guy across from me who is throughout the show, even though he had his light dimmed, he is checking his text messages. And I thought to myself, I get, he may have a situation that I'm not aware of, but if it's an emergency, step out. You know what I mean? Or if there's a relative that's going to have a baby, I get that. But then if you need to be that attached to your phone, maybe you shouldn't go to a 2-hour play. You know,
for you.
Yeah, if you can't turn it off for a whopping 2 hours. And I gave him a look. I looked at him like, hello,
He had to know.
He knew, but he didn't care.
Oh, that's even worse.
There's just a lack of social awareness, I think.
How about eating? Because, you know, when you're trying to open something and the movie gets quiet and you're like.
I don't mind that. I'll tune that out because sometimes
you got to get into
the
those
bags
snacks.
are really loud. You can't begrudge them for that. But it's the loud eaters that like chomp and chomp and chomp and constantly dig into the bag, and then that's the thing. Again, my favorite though are the people in the theater that react to everything. They basically are like running commentary. Like if it's a horror movie, they're talking back to the screen. It's like, this isn't your living room. Again, thank you, audience. It's like movies are expensive. Why are you ruining it for everybody else? And where did you learn that was all right? I still will never figure that out.
I think you just need your own theater room.
Yeah, maybe
and then you never have to worry about anybody.
Maybe I'll get a 5th job. That's right. Tomorrow on the show, they're huge on social media. Vegetarian chefs Coco and Layla will join us. Plus Dax Holt and Kendall is back. So On that note, I want to say thanks to Shane for pitching in. We'll see her again. She's not going anywhere.
True.
And if you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
I like